All right, so we're going to stick in the rest of the pages. Just make sure they're in order. So this is 94, 95, so I'm starting at 96. But for every page, you're just going to stick in the next double page. Okay, so you're just going to go in order, and when you stick this in, do not glue it here or here. Okay, so stay as close to the middle as you can on both sides. All right, so what you do again is, of course, you can use scissors, but that takes too long. You're going to take a ruler, put it in the middle, which is right past the page number. Okay. Apply pressure on your hand, on your left hand. And I'm going to take maybe like 4 sheets or 3 sheets. And then I'm just going to grab the corner with my right hand, pull it towards my left hand, and slowly, gently pull down. Now, because it's thicker, right, you just got to be a little bit more careful. Just make sure you're putting pressure right here. All right, pull down, pull down, pull down. Okay, I'm going to take those, put those on the side for a second. Again, repeat the process with whatever is left, the middle. Grab, I'm grabbing all of them. Put pressure on your left hand. With your right hand, pull towards the middle and down. All right, so those are all the sheets. Now you're going to need to put them in order so that you glue them in the right spot. So just follow the page numbers on the top right hand corner, or pick one from the left and one from the right. And just be careful not to grab 2 sheets. All right, now that the sheets are in order, and just double check on the top right hand corner, you're going to glue them in. Remember, you want to bring them as close to the middle as possible. Stay away from the double lines. For gluing purposes, in order to go faster, if you're using my glue that's really strong, I'm going to glue it around the third line down and the third line up, away from the margin. So somewhere over here, very four small dots like that. 4 small dots, staying away from the margin over here. So it makes gluing in very quick. So I take my first page, just lay it on top. You don't even have to press down. Lay it on top. Again, you're staying away from these margins. Then you're going to take the page, gently hold it, fold it over, and here's where you're going to press down. Now, as long as you stay away from the corners, the glue is not going to seep out. So again, about the third line down, come away from that margin, a dot right there. Same thing here, third, in line with that one, a dot, a dot. And you're doing that on both sides at a time, just some small dots. Then you're taking the pages, make sure they're in order, and you're putting them as close to this margin as you can. You're bringing them as close to this margin as you can. Again, gently pick up the page, gently fold it over, then you can do this. All right, so double check to make sure that there's no glue seeping out. If there's any glue seeping out, wipe it off. So I can see there's glue right there. Wipe it off because it will really stick your pages a little later on. All right, and you're just repeating the process until all the pages are glued in. Again, 4 small dots. Stay away from those margins at the end. Follow the page numbers and stick everything in. Gently hold that paper down, fold it over, then you can press down. So again, 4 small dots. So staying towards like the middle of your pages. Next 2 pages in order. All right, as close to the middle as you can. Gently hold that paper down, fold it over, then you can press down. And we're just repeating this process until all the pages are done. Four small dots, 4 small dots. All right, keep track of the page numbers. Make sure they're going in order and that you don't skip any. 4 small dots. Okay, again, as close to the middle as you can, and you can move your paper because it's not stuck in yet. Gently hold that one, flip it over. Okay. 4 small dots. All right, and this is my last page, so I'm still gonna flip it over because I need to solidify it. All right, we're gonna close the book for a second. Now, it's very important that you wipe off any excess glue right now. Okay, so I'm going to go in real quick and just look at my pages. Again, if anything moved, I'm just gonna move it back out so that this margin and this margin is clear. This margin and this margin is clear. And you can see my page is already stuck. Oh, that one made a mistake. So if I make a mistake, I'm just going to gently pull it out because it's not a lot of glue and it hasn't quite solidified yet. So I'm just going to gently pull it out. Apply the 4 small dots again. All right, and make sure that none of the pages go past the margin right there. All right, let's go solidify in a second. So it happened to me twice. So maybe just check every time you fold the paper, just check it. Again, I'm just fixing it because it hasn't solidified yet. But if you wait for another class period, it will be solidified. This one too. Gently pull it out. The glue is still quite fresh. So this time I'm going to hold this down so I can make sure it doesn't move. That one's okay. That one's okay. That one's okay. Perfect. All right, so I'm good to go. So I'm now going to make a table of contents. All right, so go ahead and pause the video and copy down the table of contents. And again, if you didn't have a page available in the very front, that's okay. What you're taking is a scratch sheet of paper, cutting it in a half a sheet and sticking it right here, but only about maybe halfway. So kind of fold it over like that and only stick right here. That way you can stick another one here if you need it. So you're doing a table of contents here if you need it. But go ahead and pause the video and copy this down. I'm going to read it to you in case you can't read my handwriting. So Unit 5A, Exponential Functions. This says Exponential Functions Intro, page 92, 93. From a Table, 94. From a Graph, 95. A Summary of Exponential Functions, Table and Graph, 96, 97. From Percent in Context, then it says 1 plus blank and 1 minus blank, page 98 to 101. Rounding with Decimals, page 99. Exponential Functions and Characteristics, page 102 to 103. Function Notation, page 104 to 105. Transformations, page 106 to 107. Parameters of Exponential Functions, page 108 to 109. Creating and solving exponential functions, page 110 to 111. So pause the video, copy that down, and rewind as needed. All right, so now we're going to make our tabs. So I'm just going to hide these lines so they don't confuse you, but just imagine that these lines are still there, okay? All right, so to make the tabs, what I want you to do is where the page first starts, I want you to, with a pencil, make a line. So there's this little piece right here, make a line. Then what I want you to do is estimate, doesn't have to be exact, we're just making our tabs, is look about halfway here, from this line that you made to the bottom, about halfway is maybe around here. Make a line with the pencil again. And it doesn't have to be exact, you're just going about halfway. All right, so make a line there. Then you're going to take half of this space right here, make a line, so that's about here. So just get it to the nearest, so maybe there's more lines here than there is here, but make sure you're on the line. About halfway of this space is about maybe here. Okay, so now you've broken your space up into, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tabs. Then on your very top part, so between the first 2 lines, break it again halfway. On the next 2, break it again halfway. So I can see here I have like it's going to be 3 and 2, or you can do 2 and 3. It doesn't matter, just as long as you got 2 tabs out of that. Break this again into halfway. Break this again into halfway. So You may not be exactly halfway. It might be a little bit up or a little bit down, but as long as you break them apart. Now, if you count, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you should have 9 tabs in total. So all you're doing is breaking it in half every time. All right. So if you don't have 9 tabs, please come see me. Don't cut. Now that you have what you're supposed to do, so I'm just going to mark them here so that I know. This is on the same sheet. It's just that I had markings on it before, so like that. All right, so now I'm going to follow these ones here, the new marks. All right, what you're going to do is you're going to take those 2 sheets of paper. You're going to gently kind of bend it, all right, till the next page appears. All right, so you got this one is completely cut, and this one is bent over just a little bit. Okay, this first one, and I don't know why I'm doing this in pen. Please make sure you're using pencil. This first one is here, so I need my second tab, which is going to be from here to here. So this first page is just going to be this top part. The second one is going to be the second one. Then you're going to lift that page. And you're going to bend that over. Now make sure to listen to the entirety of this video. And you're going to mark the next 2 lines. So here to here. Make sure you listen to the entirety of the video because some of them go together. All right, so that's that. That's that. All right, this is the page that's going to go together. So now when I lift it again, so my last page was that, so I'm on this tab right here. All right, when I lift this one and I mark it, so it's from here to here, this is going to be several pages. So it's going to be that one, up to there. So both of them. So I'm going to do this one twice is what I'm saying. So again, it's the page about the same exact thing. So I'm going to do it twice. All right, so on the, let me name them, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th tab, it's going to be the same one twice on 2 pages. Okay. All right, now that I have it on 2 pages, so I'm on tab number 4. I'm going to go to 5, so bend it over onto the next page. Also, not that one, the next page. And that's going to be tab number 5. That one's just going to be the 1. Let me just double check. Yep. All right, so take that page over. So we just did tab number 5. So now we're going to do tab number 6. So here to here. All right, that one's also going to be 1. So now we're on tab number 7. Bend it over. Tab number 7 is from here to here. Okay, that's tab number 7. Next page. Yep, just 1. It's tab number 8. So from here to here. And then the last page is tab number 9. So from here to the bottom. All right. And don't you worry, because before we cut, we are going to make sure that we did this correctly. So on the very first page, after the cut piece, right, this very top part is going to be the title of that one. And it should match what it says on the actual page. So the title of that one's going to be Exponential Functions Intro. So I'm just going to write EXP for short, intro. So on this very, very top part, EXP, exponential intro. And again, as I'm writing that, I make sure that that's what it says here as well, so that I'm making sure that I'm doing this on the right thing. The next one should be from a table on page 94 and a graph on page 95. So this tab right here is from a table, from a graph. So both those names are going to go right here. So I'm going to say from a table / graph. So we're just matching the table of contents to the tab and to what's on that page. Okay. The next one, so again, I'm matching both things. So I did exponential functions, table, graph. Next one should be summary. So when I come here, before I write summary on these lines, I should make sure it says summary. It does right there. So I will go summary on that tab right there. On the next page, from percent in context. Now, this one is the one that has a lot of pages to it, 98 to 101. So this is the one that's 2 pages that mean the same thing. So it should say from percent in context. So my next tab over, all right, is going to say percent to context, or from percent, right? From percent. And then you're just going to make sure that it has the same title. So it's from percent. All right, so you can write from percent, or you can write, what did we write in the table of contents? From percent in context. So I'm going to just add that part. From percent in context. Okay, this is going to be 2 pages. Why? Because it's the same tab. So from percent in context, 2 pages. You don't need to write it down twice, so you're just going to skip that one. So this one is going to be left blank. Don't write anything on here. Okay, so this is the same tab twice. All right, then we're going to go to the next one. Our next title should be exponential functions and characteristics. So we check the title, characteristics, and then we can now write on the tab that we marked out, characteristics. Okay, so you're matching it in 3 places, the table of contents, the page, and the tab. All right, when I go to the next tab, so it should be a little bit underneath that, which it is, I should have something about interpret function notation. I come back to my table of contents, function notation. So that's the name of that tab. So function notation. Okay. So I go to the next one. It should be going down a little bit. And you can see the next one, if you marked it correctly, it's going to be starting where that one ended. So it's going down. That one should be something about transformations. So if I go back to my table of contents after function notation, I should see transformations. So I'm good. So I'm just matching everything up. So here, transformations. If I go to the next tab over, you'll see, what does it say? Parameters. All right, so it says parameters. And if I go to my table of contents, it says parameters. So I'm just matching it up. So here I'm going to write parameters. And on the very last tab, it says creating and solving exponential functions. Match it up with the very beginning, creating and solving exponential functions. And that's what I'm writing on the last one. So creating and solving. And I can write EXP for short. All right, so EXP. And that's it. So now I have no more pages. Okay, so once you are completely sure, after everything has matched is the only time that you can cut it. All right, so once your tabs are completely correct, now you can cut it, but only when the tabs are right. All right, so what you do is you take a ruler, you put it horizontal, you take your sheet of paper, you cut it to the ruler, to the margin, and then all the way down. And what that does is brings up the next tab. So again, you take your ruler, apply pressure with this hand, lift the page just gently to the line, the margin that you see right there, and then cut it all the way down. All right, so again, to the margin and all the way down. And you're just doing this all the way till you get all of them done. So to the margin, all the way done. This one, you're cutting the same way because it's the one that's 2 tabs. So you see how it's marked right there? So you're going to cut it again to the margin and all the way down. And every time you cut it, a new tab should appear. To the margin and all the way down. To the margin and all the way down. Just keep putting pressure on your left hand with the ruler. All right, to the margin, all the way down. To the margin, and all the way down. All right, once you finish cutting, you should see all the tabs appear. That way, when you're in a test and you're like, oh, I don't remember average rate or change characteristics, you would just take this tab, go that way, and then go look for average rate of change. Okay, so organize your book in such a way that you can find what you're looking for when you need it. All right, so this is how you set up Unit 5A exponential functions. Let's practice.